Good morning and welcome everyone. Thank you for taking the time to join us this Tuesday. I hope you had a great week so far. For today's session, we have a virtual info session about York International, and we are joined by a special guest speaker from York International, Eugen Anetmi. Today we'll be learning a little bit more Today we'll be learning a little bit more about what York International is and the many ways new and incoming international students can set themselves up for success. Before we get started, I would like to pass it over to my colleague, Rachel, who will take you through a small assessment through Kahoot just to get to know you a little bit better. Rachel, over to you.
Hi, everyone. Okay, so I'm going to be joining the Kahoot now, and I'll be sharing my screen. We're going to see yourself for a bit, sorry. Okay, and can everyone see my screen? Okay. So the game pin for today's Kahoot is 272-0485, or you can scan the QR code up in the top rightmost corner. You can go to the website www.kahoot.it, or if you have the app, and then enter the game pin 272-0485, or you can scan the QR code. So give us a couple of minutes for everyone else to join, and then we would get started. Again, the pin is 272-0485, or you can scan the QR code. Okay, just one more minute. Make sure everyone joins. And if you're unable to join, you can also leave the answers in the chat of the Zoom meeting, so we can also monitor that and check that too. But preferably, you can join the Kahoot. All right, so we're going to be starting now. And let's go. So our first question is, please tell us what city or country you're joining us from. So where in the world are you joining us from? Just leave that in the answer box. Maybe 15 more seconds. All right. So from Brazil, I'm guessing that's India, yeah, Canada, Saudi Arabia, Nigeria. That's really nice. So we're going to move on to the next question. So what brings you to today's session? What are you willing to learn? Why are you here? Are you an upcoming fall winter student? Are you just looking to learn more about what general information? Okay. So most people are upcoming fall winter students. Well, welcome to York. We hope you're gonna have a great time coming into York, and we hope you're able to learn a lot today and for some other reasons. So last question before we move on to the rest of the presentation is, please rank the following York-related topics that you would most like to learn about. Just on a general scale, so we can know what our income students would most likely want to know more about, so we can help that in our further sessions. Enrollment and finances, community and city transit, York's history and values, campus recreation and athletics, campus buildings and residents, or student community organizations. Here, 5 more seconds. All right, so everyone wants to learn about enrollment and finances. I think that's a really important part of like just university life in general. Then also campus buildings and residences, student community organizations, community and city transit, York's history and values, and campus recreation and athletics. So basically, we're gonna ensure we cover most of those topics in our further sessions. So if you want to learn more about this, sign up to our Eventbrite page. But otherwise, I'm gonna be passing it on back to Ariba, who will introduce us to Eugene, who will be handling the presentation today.
Okay, Eugene, take it away.
Okay, I will be sharing my screen. Do you see the presentation? Yes. Okay. Good morning, everybody, or good afternoon, good evening, everyone. My name is Eugene Lee. I am one of the 3 international student experience coordinators at York International, and I oversee the orientation and transition portfolio. So if you have attended any of our pre-arrival webinars or our global peer program at any point, you might have seen some of my student staff and myself arranging some of those events for you folks. So very good to meet every one of you. And I also have here my manager somewhere here.
Hello, everyone. It's really good to see so many of you here today, so I'm really excited about that. My name is Nethni. I'm the Manager of International Student Experience here at York International, so I work very closely with Eugene, and really together between ourselves and our colleagues, our whole jobs are to support all of you folks before you arrive and after you arrive here in Canada and at York University. So you'll learn all about that today, but feel free. We definitely welcome any questions that you might have. Pop them in the chat. Feel free to unmute yourself, and we'll be able to answer that for you. So for today, we're really going to provide a bit of an overview of what York International is. If you're familiar with, university systems, or if you're not, there are a number of different departments and units that are available at the university to support you, whether that's finances, whether that's course selection. And for international students, we have an office called York International. So that's really what we're going to talk about in terms of what services are available to you. You'll see the different programs that we have, and we'll really focus on some orientation opportunities that are available to you, which as international students, and I know a majority of you are coming in the fall, so there are some really important events that we think you would really benefit by participating in. Will there be any information about summer exchange? We're going to touch on exchange briefly, but then we'll be able to direct you accordingly. So with York International, a lot of the work that we do is to support our international students, along with our domestic and any international students also who wish to study or work abroad. So we saw the question in the chat there from Nate. So yes, you will have the opportunity to learn about the global learning opportunities, whether you can study abroad for a year, maybe a semester, or maybe there's other opportunities as well that you can connect with folks all around the world. Within York International, we do have a number of different services. So Eugene and I today, we're really going to be focusing on international student and scholar services. That's really the team that we're supporting, and a lot of our events run through that for international students specifically. We do also have 2 other teams, the Global Learning Team and the Global Engagement Team. The Global Learning Team is the main team that manages all of our students' global learning opportunities, as I mentioned. So if you want to, in your 2nd, 3rd, 4th year, you want to study abroad, you want to go maybe on a summer internship, or you want to go on a faculty led study abroad course, then that is the team that's going to support you through that. And we'll share a little bit about how you can get involved in that later. Okay, so with York International and York University as a whole, we actually have quite a large international student population. So you'll be joining a community, you've already joined a very large community of over 10,000 international students, and that's coming from over 68 different countries as well. So it's a really, really diverse community here at York University, and one that we think you'll find a spot that you feel like you belong, and you'll definitely make some good friends as well. York International, as we've mentioned, is here to support you. And through our services, we have international student advising. So if you have immigration related questions or any really international specific questions as you progress throughout your university career, we have advisors dedicated to that. We also provide support on the university health insurance plan. So this is a mandatory health insurance plan that all of our international students do need to opt into, and it's where you'll get your health coverage. And then we have a lot of programming, a lot of services and opportunities for you to get involved, participate in leadership opportunities, and just kind of build connection and build your community here at York. And then, as I already mentioned, we have some global learning opportunities as well. So when it comes to international student advising and immigration support, there's a number of different reasons why you might need to get support from our immigration advisors. So you've already probably started this process in terms of applying for your study permit application, and you may have participating in some of our study permit webinars where our immigration team essentially walked you through what it was like to apply for a study permit, what documents you might need, what are some of the factors and considerations that you need to think about with you and your families and your supporters. And so as you kind of progress throughout your university career, there may be other reasons why you need to connect with our immigration team. For example, if you want to confirm some pieces of working in Canada, you want to understand your eligibility, how many hours can I work part-time, can I work in the summer? All of that will be unique to you and your individual study permit, but we do have advisors who can work with you either in a group setting or one-on-one to kind of provide you that support. We also provide specialized immigration support as well. And you'll see here, there's a couple different ways that you can connect with those advisors. And these are licensed professionals, right? So at York University, it's a really great service that we offer where we actually have a team of 5 licensed immigration advisors. And that licensing piece is really important for you to know because anyone can technically provide you guidance or suggestions on how to submit your study permit or how to apply for a co-op permit, but those folks may or may not be regulated. And what's important about our team is that they are licensed and regulated, which means that they're officially and legally allowed to provide you very specific advisement. And so we really recommend coming to our team to get those questions answered rather than going to maybe third parties or independent agents, because we know that our immigration team, they're only working with our international students and they have your best interests in mind. So if there are other questions that come up throughout your time here, you're welcome to pop by our office. You're welcome to drop in virtually to a bunch of our sessions or join some one-on-one appointments as well. And then with the University Health Insurance Plan, as I mentioned, this is going to be your mandatory healthcare plan. And this is something that is really beneficial for international students because, coming in, you're going to be kind of getting to know and getting used to a whole new system, including a whole new healthcare system. So it's really important that you learn about UHIP. So Eugen will actually talk about at orientation some of the opportunities that we have. But what UHIP is really making sure that you're covered to go to the doctor if you need to, go to the hospital if you need to, and you'll be able to have certain procedures or medical reasons covered through that UHIP plan, in addition to some external and extended healthcare plans that we also offer at York. So together you'd have a pretty well-rounded healthcare coverage to support whatever medical needs that might come up. UHIP is not mandatory for domestic students. So for domestic students, Canadian students, you have something that's called OHIP, so the Ontario Health Insurance Plan. And so OHIP covers all of those folks. And then if you're international, because you're not eligible for OHIP, you would be required to get UHIP. It's a great question. Okay, Eugen, over to you.
Yes. Thank you, Bethany. So you've seen how our office really supports international students in terms of the immigration piece of it and the health aspect. We also have a lot of programming. So we support international students, domestic students through programming that is really geared towards making sure that you have a full and successful experience at York University and in Canada. So one of the aspects of that student support is the orientation and transition, which is what I oversee. And it's really supporting the students from the point of admission. So as soon as you accepted your letter to come to York, and then all the way up to the point when you arrive here to orientation. And so some of the programming, as you see here, is hopefully you have attended a couple of these. So the pre-arrival webinars are really a way for you to get a lot of that information that you are seeking for, whether that's housing, finances, immigration questions, health insurance questions, enrollment, so building your timetable questions, meeting folks from your faculty, academic advisors, opportunity to learn about the cultural aspect of living here as an international student. So all of those are webinars that we have been having since the beginning of February. These are all recorded. They're all on our York International website. Bethany has popped in the link for the recordings as well. And so we do have one up coming up at the end of July that is arriving at the Canadian border. We will have one of our immigration specialists there to talk about what to expect once you have sort of left your country, what do you need to prepare? And then once you arrive at the airport, what does the process look like? And so we really recommend that you join us on July 31st at 9 p.m. You will find the link on the website that Bethany has shared. And then I will be sharing more information about this, but the International Student and Exchange Orientation is sort of like the beginning of orientation week for international students, because this is the first orientation that you will be attending, where we give you a lot of information regarding immigration and the health insurance plan. However, you also get an opportunity to meet other international students, other exchange students, and to really engage in fun activities, get to know the campus. We have a campus tour. We have a bus available that will be taking folks to go shopping for essentials at Walmart. So it's a full day of events and things that are really geared for international students. And then we have the other aspect of the student life, that is the academic and career success. So this is overseen by Nikita Cruz, who is my colleague, and this really focuses on really preparing all of our international students and making sure that you feel comfortable and you are familiar and confident in navigating the Canadian education and the employability world here in Canada. And so, for example, our English Conversation Partners program is a way for you to connect one-on-one to build your English language confidence skills, as well as an opportunity to connect with someone else and also participate in fun activities throughout the 7-week time period. We do offer opportunities for you folks to get your social insurance numbers. That will be happening during orientation, as well as we do offer free tax support. And then again, that career aspect is really trying to help and make sure that you familiarize yourself with how the Canadian education system works and how it might be a little bit different from what you're used to, but again, giving you those tools and building that that ability to be successful and to feel comfortable doing so. And then the other aspect of the student life is the social aspect, the student engagement, which is overseen by Michelle Lovrix. And this is looking into really building your community, into connecting with others and doing it through very organic, very fun activities and engagement opportunities, where you are able to meet other folks, other international students, as well as we do have students who are domestic or exchange students who join all of our events as well. So some that I would love to highlight is coffee breaks. These happen weekly, and these are really just a way to gather with other folks in a space where we have coffee, tea, a little bit of snacks, and you really just engage in discussions and in conversations and connecting with others in a very relaxed and easy environment. And then we also have our neighborhood explorations, which are an opportunity where we take students down to the different neighborhoods in downtown Toronto. So you really get to know the area of downtown Toronto, you get to explore, and you do it with people who you might have seen at a coffee break or you are familiar with. And so it's a little bit less of a stressor environment. And it's also an opportunity for you to feel more comfortable getting out of the York University campus, but also getting to know the downtown Toronto area. And also, as a international student, and as Nethmi talked a little bit about, we do offer a lot of leadership and volunteer opportunities. And so one of them is our volunteer program, which is really, you have the opportunity to volunteer at our events. And that means anything from facilitating to setup to engagement to coming up with ideas to putting together some of the work behind the scenes of those events, and getting to work with other people, really building your social skills as well as your leadership skills, your communication skills. And this is a really great way for you to get your foot into an opportunity to get a work study position or a job on campus, because the volunteer program is something that you can add on to your resume. So it's a really great starting point for you to dive into that world of volunteering, but also into the world of getting a job on campus as well. And so I think for all of you folks, as you're getting ready and preparing to come to Canada, I would like to share that the International and Exchange Student Orientation will be happening in August. So August 25th is the International Students official move-in day. I believe all of the students are moving in on the 25th if you are living on campus in residence. We will have something that's called the Break Room Social that evening on the 25th. We will be adding this information on our website soon. But the Break Room Social is really, the Break Room is a fun arcade sort of game room area that's in the First Student Center on campus. And this, as you can see in the pictures, this is a really great area with lots of arcade games, board games, a great space for students to hang out in. And we will be hosting a social there. So free games, you will not have to pay for any of the arcade games. We'll have some snacks there as well. And it will be a great way for you to meet other international students. So we hope you will join us on the 25th. And then on the 26th is our International and Exchange Student Orientation. So as international students, this is a really great way to really start and kick off your first year at York University. And it includes a lot, like I mentioned before, a lot of sessions, so immigration and health insurance sessions, as well as a campus tour and lots of other opportunities for you to really get a full understanding of the university, but also everything that to expect here as a student at York. One piece of our orientation, which is really great for international students, is the service fair. So the service fair is an opportunity for you to meet different resources that are available to you within York University. So whether that's academic, health related, social, sports, any of that sort, you will be meeting someone who has some sort of resource or program or event that support York University students, as well as we will have some Canadian banks and some Canadian phone companies at the service fair, where they will be having some student-friendly offers, as well as an opportunity for you to be able to book an appointment or to actually on the spot open up your bank accounts or your phone SIM cards. And then we will be having the social insurance number clinics as well during the service fair. So you'll be able to get your SIN number during the service fair as well. And then, so as you might know, or you might not know, and that's okay, is the importance of orientation is it's, as I mentioned, it's a really great way to start your university sort of experience. But as international students, it's really to help you have that smooth transition to be able to equip you with the information and give you the opportunity to connect with others, to build that community from the start, and to really make sure that you understand everything that is available for you at the university and around Toronto. And so we really encourage you to join us on August 26th. Nethmi has popped in the link for our orientation website. If you are not able to join us on August 26th, we do have 2 alternate days for anyone who has any travel issues or you're still waiting on study permits. We do have one on September 13th as well as September 27th. Again, these will be smaller because they are throughout the term, and we don't want to take away too much of your time while you're in classes, but we do feel like the information that we share is important for you to know. So we hope that you join us at our International and Exchange Student Orientation. And I popped this in because I know you will have questions, and thank you for asking your questions on the chat. But feel free to ask away your questions.
I do want to quickly jump in, and maybe folks can use the reaction buttons, maybe a green check, or pop it in the chat. Are any students here going to be joining the Faculty of Liberal Arts and Professional Studies? If so, I'm going to pop something in the chat for you. In addition to our central orientation, there is another orientation that's available to you just for students within the Faculty of Liberal Arts and Professional Studies. And this is kind of an opportunity for you to get to know your faculty before orientation week begins. So I'm just going to pop that in the chat for you. It's called YU Landing. So it's a good chance for you to familiarize yourself with what you need to know about your faculty, meet some of your classmates. And so before our orientation begins, this one is available to you as well if you're within that faculty.
Thank you so much, Eugene and Nethmi. So someone has DM'd me with a question, and it's regarding the volunteering program. They have applied and got the interview for the registration form, but they couldn't get a submission confirmation. Could you help me with that?
What we can do, because one of our colleagues manages the volunteer application and the program, maybe after we can get the information of that student, and we'll ask our colleague to follow up with them just to provide an update.
Thank you so much. There's another question in the chat that says, I'm a little confused. Was there information on domestic students studying or working abroad gone over?
Perfect.
Also,
Yes, thank you.
Sorry.
No, that's perfect. Thank you. I think Bhagya for asking that question, reminding us. Yes, so with our global learning opportunities, I'm going to share a website for you in the chat. What we recommend is, in your first year, there's typically no opportunity to go abroad because it's your first year. We really want you to focus on getting used to York University, learning more about your classes, really kind of getting into a good routine of focusing on your studies, getting involved on campus, and really just focusing on settling in. But after in your upper years, we definitely recommend that you look into different global learning opportunities. So one thing that's available to you is actually in October of every year. So just about a month after you arrive, there's going to be something called the Global Learning Fair, which is a really great opportunity for you to actually meet with a bunch of the kind of global institutions that you might want to visit at some point during your university career, whether you want to go abroad for a single term, a semester, or maybe you want to go abroad for a full year, or maybe you want to go abroad for a summer or a couple weeks. There's a lot of different options that are available to you. So I will put that in the chat here. And what I would suggest, as first year students, coming into your first year in September, global learning opportunities are really great. I would recommend that you try to plan ahead so that you can kind of plan for your second, third, or fourth year to go abroad. Because again, your first year really should be focused on just getting settled and getting used to this new environment that you're going to be joining.
Thank you so much. There is one more question that says, does York International help international students with getting a job in Canada?
Yeah, so essentially what I can share, and Eugene, feel free to jump in if you have anything else. What we offer are a bunch of different supports that can help you navigate this new kind of Canadian career professional world. So we may not be able to apply for jobs for you as an example, but we can definitely provide you guidance on where you can find job postings, what types of experiences you might want to kind of add to your resume, maybe extracurricular activities that would give you the opportunity to enhance your leadership skills or your intercultural skills, maybe your communication skills. And we definitely work with our colleagues at the Career Center. So we'll put that in the chat as well. The Career Center is another department here at York University that their entire goal is to support our students, including our international students, to find jobs, whether that's while you're in class and you're looking for part-time work, or whether that's maybe summer jobs or jobs after graduation. So there's different workshops, like resume workshops, so that you can really edit your resume to really fit within the Canadian standards of employment. Same thing with your other application materials. You can actually work one-on-one with a career counselor who can guide you through those steps. They can show you what kind of websites do I need to go to find different jobs? What kind of skills do I need to focus on improving for myself to really enhance my application? So there's a number of different opportunities. Through York International, we'll essentially provide you the guidance on maybe your next steps, where you can go. As Eugene mentioned, we offer those social insurance number clinics. Those social insurance numbers are a requirement in order to work in Canada. So that's one of the first steps that we try to help you out with. And then we kind of support you through the next steps of getting involved.
Thank you so much. There's one more question in the chat by Nate. Regarding the summer abroad program, do you get credits for the classes you take?
Yes, so it definitely depends on the specific program that you would be taking. Sometimes when you study abroad, it would just be kind of pass or fail credits that contribute to your transcript, and other times it would be kind of an actual graded mark or credit that you would get. So it really just depends. So this is something that we'll actually pop in the chat. We have within our calendar opportunities for you to speak with a global learning coordinator who can actually kind of walk you through what the different opportunities you might be interested are around studying abroad, and again, the different types of options that are available to you. Sometimes, depending on your faculty, there's even more options for you to maybe take a specific course abroad, or maybe there's other kind of advantages, maybe different types of opportunities that you can participate in. So Eugene's put in the chat there the link to our events calendar. And when you click into that, you'll see that there's different opportunities for global learning advising. So those are open to you. You're welcome to join in. And there's virtual options as well.
Thank you so much. That was really helpful. And this is the last question that I got, is regarding financial planning and budgeting. Does York International help with that?
Yes, so one of the things that we will direct you to is actually one of our webinars that we held earlier this summer in collaboration with some of our finance colleagues. And that webinar kind of goes through the financial planning process as an international student. You know, what are the first steps that I need to take? What are the different factors that I need to think about? And it really kind of walks you through the different questions you might need to ask yourself, you might need to ask your family as you prepare to arrive. In terms of the actual planning process, I would say there's a lot of different resources that are available to you, both through York International in terms of our webinars and some of our resource guides, and through Student Financial Services, which is another unit on campus that is dedicated. The whole team works on supporting students process finances, supports with different scholarships and bursaries, and they would definitely be able to support you with some of those questions as they come up while you're here. But in terms of the planning process, I would say definitely take a look at our webinar recording. I think that'll be a really great start for you.
Thank you so much for answering all those questions. I'm sure it's really helpful, and even this presentation, because I was also an international student and I've been through the coffee break session. So I encourage all of you to do so, because that's where you'll find like a sense of community. And yeah, I will pass it on to my colleague Rachel for the ending Kahoot. So over to you, Rachel.
Okay, hi everyone. Thank you again, Eugene and Nithmi, for your presentation. It was really good. So we're gonna be going into the last focus of the Kahoot, the last 3 questions, continuing from where we stopped previously. And so you're gonna see my screen again. Okay. Yeah. Can we all see my screen? Okay, so we're gonna be moving on. In case you lost the pin or like you disconnected from the game before, the game pin is 2720485. So go to Kahoot.it and the game pin is 2720485. Do we all? I hope we are all in. 2720485. Okay, and we're gonna be moving on now. So our next question, our 4th question, was how helpful was today's session? Let us know, like on a scale of 1 to 5, from very dissatisfied to very satisfied, how helpful was today's session? Again, you also have, if you're unable to join the Kahoot, you can also put your answers in the chat of the Zoom meeting. All right, we got 4 answers, and yeah, most people were almost very satisfied. So 75% people are 4 out of 5, 25% 5 stars. So our average is 4.3. So that's really good. We really appreciate you coming out to listen to this presentation today. And then we hope you're able to get a few tips to be able to help you out throughout your entire university study. So next question is, what is something that you'd like to know more about going forward? Is anything else you'd like to know? You may not have to relate to today's session, just anything general about university life that you'd like to know going forward. Put that in the answer box. If you're unable to put the answer in the Kahoot, please you can also put the answer in the Zoom chat. And then someone talks about scholarship, and then someone's question. I think that's the question global learning. So if you have any more questions about the global learning, you can always reach out to York International. And then about scholarships, you can always reach out to the financial department at York, or you can come over for our York 101 event where we talk about finances more in depth. You can sign up also through our Eventbrite page. So our last question for today's Kahoot is, no, sorry, not a question. Please scan and visit our Eventbrite page to follow up and sign up for any future events. So The link is on Slack channel too. But if you also want the link, that will also be put in the chat. You can scan the QR code also and follow us on Instagram at StudentLifeYourQ for any more updates. So that's it for today. Thank you. I'm going to pass it over now to Clara.
Thank you, Rachel. Thank you, Rachel, for passing over to me. Thank you, everyone, for attending today's session. We hope you found the information about York International helpful and inspiring. A big thank you and round of applause to our guest speakers for sharing valuable insights and resources with us. We really appreciate you. If you have any further questions or need additional support, please do not hesitate to reach out through our email, newstudent@yorku.ca, or you could contact us through Slack. We're here to help you succeed. And have a great rest of your day or night, and we look forward to seeing you at our next event. Thank you and goodbye.